Hey, everybody, I'm Leon Thomas, and you are here for another episode of the InPhone A-Team show. We'll be right back to get this show started. Here we go. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
What's up, Leon? How are you?
Everything is groovy. Welcome, everybody, to the InPhone A-Team show. I'm Leon Thomas with Regional InPhone Representative Tony Mecadon. Tony, we talk about it just for a couple of minutes every show, and we might as well do it on this one, too. There's green at the bottom of the screen. That could stand for only one thing: those Philadelphia Eagles.
Let me tell you something funny about Eagle fans, and this is the point I'm at right now. When you're doing well in the beginning and the middle of the season, you like to brag a lot, and we like to talk trash and everything. When it gets to this point in the year and you're 11-1 and you're actually going, oh my God, we could do some great things this year. Now you don't want to talk about it because you're worried about jinxing it. So to be honest with you, I'm not going to get too arrogant today. I'm very happy we're 11-1, but I want to keep us on the good path.
Don't you even try. Look, I worked in Philadelphia for a while. You guys are arrogant even when you're losing. All right. Don't give me that stuff. I don't want to hear, oh, we're being cautiously optimistic. Shut up. I ain't buying that.
We might be the most arrogant when we're losing.
Now, let's flip it for 30 seconds to talk about my Baltimore Ravens. We won Sunday 10-9.
They did. Was that a pro team they beat, or was that like the junior college?
Wow, man. Wow. But the thing is, the whole town is like, the Ravens are done. It's over. Season's over. Wrap it up. They're done. And we won the game. Come on.
You know what? I got to tell you, I think you're pulling on in a couple minutes a Steeler fan, if I remember correctly, and that's your opponent this week. So
then he's not coming on the show. Is there another guest we can text right away to get someone else on the show? Or we've got one of our producers, Dr. Jay Rasenko. He's probably like, why didn't he work this show? Now we know that there's a Steeler fan coming up. Hey, folks, I'm Leon Thomas. Listen, you got to get an InPhone if you don't have one. It's just that simple. Go to inphone.co/LTG. You can check it out, exactly what InPhone is, all the cool stuff it does. Again, my InPhone is inphone.co/LTG. You can find out what it is, all the cool things, the cool features it has, the great referral tools that are available to you. Tony, if they want to take a look at yours, well, how do they do that?
That is inphone.co/TM2. Very simple.
Very simple.
Every way to get in touch with me is on that link. So feel free to use it, play around with it, and to give me a call.
That's the cool thing about it. No more write down this. Let me give you a business card. Blah, blah. Where's the business cards? Hey, hold on a second. Hold on. Here. I still got them stacked up here. I don't even use them. This is the same stack from like 2 months ago, Tony, when we started doing this. Watch this. I don't need them. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. I got it in. And you really think somebody said, oh, you're using them later. Really? Watch this. All right. Deal with that. Now it's not getting used later. All right.
It's confetti now for the Raven games. Now you can use them to throw confetti at the Raven games.
Throw confetti. I like it. Now, you said we have a Steeler phone today. Why don't you go ahead and introduce this Steeler fan that we have coming on today?
We have the big guy today. We have the guy who created InPhone. He's going to tell you when and a little bit about his story. But Ron Sullivan is the founder and the president of InPhone. And let me tell you something. His mind, he's all about innovation. Every time I talk to him, he brings up something new that I go, oh my God, that's going to be so great. I love working with him. I'm so proud to be part of his team. And let's bring him on.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Well, not as well as I was 10 minutes ago before you started trashing the Steelers.
I didn't trash the Steelers. I trashed the Eagles and Eagles fans. What
Actually,
I
they trashed their season weeks ago, so it's okay.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Oh no, don't count the Steelers out. This is a Ravens fan telling you don't count your team
Okay.
out yet. You guys are
Okay.
going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
All right, I'm
We'll
feeling it, and I said that on one of our other shows like 6 weeks ago. I said don't count the Steelers out.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling it. All right,
feeling it.
we'll check it out. Yeah, so InPhone, I'm loving it.
How about that?
I'm loving it. Did Tony? Did you tell Ron the story about the conference deal that I went to?
I watched your show.
So you know about it? Yeah.
I've seen every show.
All right.
I've even watched some of your other podcasts, so I'm a loyal fan.
Oh, great! Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
There's no badge or anything on the screen like you get on Facebook, but I am a loyal fan.
All right, we appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I meet Tony, and he tells me about InPhone and all. He keeps telling me there's the coolest guy that invented it, that came up with the idea, named Ron Sullivan. We got to get him on the show. And so here you are. So tell me about InPhone. How did it start? Where'd the idea come from? Fill me in.
So I spent about 35 years in retail management, from buyer to, starting out as a store manager to district operations and managing multiple stores and multiple employees. And after 3+ decades, my last one being with Family Dollar, decided to go out on my own and started working with small businesses and hopefully giving some guidance, giving some help, tapping into my background from, again, purchasing, marketing, HR, loss prevention, operations, and just trying to help out any way I could and get their businesses back on track. One of the couple common denominators I found, one was most of them had really loyal, happy clients, which was great. They also didn't have much money to spend to do marketing. But the other thing I found was that they also didn't have a great tool to go after referrals and go tap into their happy customers and gain more clients from them, which is, of course, the best client you'll ever get is a referral. So I kind of set out to create something. And first thought was I didn't want it to be an app, because if you're going to go after referrals, you want to make it easy. And the last thing you want to do is ask somebody to go to some app store and download something, because they're 99% probably not going to do it. And so I wanted it to be a web app, and then create some type of tool that allowed a client to promote themselves, to tap into referrals, to gain new clients, to retain clients, and then ultimately just make business easier to do. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the thought. And then the next thing was, how does that work? I knew that everyone, especially if you're a guy, you'll turn around and go home for a few things if you forget it. One is probably your wallet and cash. Two is if your spouse, that's probably a good idea to turn around and go get her if you forgot her. And three is your phone, and not necessarily in that order. So I wanted to be a smartphone type product, something that was easy to access, easy to use. And that's kind of how it started. And being now 60 years old, my first thought was, Leon, I don't know how old you are. I know Tony's approximate age, but back when I was a kid in school, when you got your first Texas Instruments calculator, that was a huge deal, because everything you ever wanted to do and didn't understand was on one little keypad. So that was kind of a thought I had. Let's make it easy and provide direct access to really important stuff. And that's really how it started. And then it's evolved greatly from there. So that's kind of the long-winded short version.
Yeah. Before I turn it over to Tony, I want to put up a comment, please. The production team, would you put up that comment from Jason Hansen? It was up before. Jason Hansen is an InPhone user, and he says he loves his. Oh, he's a Cowboys fan too, but we won't hold that against him. We'll still allow him to show up here. But
He
he
was
said
happy in the second half the other day. I know that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Thank you,
loves his
Jason.
InPhone. Jason, why don't you go ahead and comment with your InPhone URL, and we'll go ahead and display that so everyone watching the show can get in touch with you. Tony, go ahead. You and Ron talk for a bit.
Yeah, well, I've seen, and I've been a part of InPhone now, I think for close to 3 years. And I've seen the where it's gone over time, like not just the additions that we've gone over. I mean, like the new products and the new services, but even the look of the InPhone. I mean, when I look back to the first one I bought, which that day I looked at and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Now I look back and I'm like, oh boy, ours is, exactly. It's really, and I got to tell you, that's what I love about what Ron does. And also the services he brings. And I've talked to Ron about this before. He's not looking to just add services just to add services. I mean, I'll let him talk this, but we're not a product that just wants to create new buttons for people. We want to solve problems. And Ron, like, what's the one major problem you think you've solved with the services we've added over the last couple of years? What do you think has been the most impactful?
By far, our InPhone video chat. That really started from a suggestion of a realtor here locally. I live in South Carolina. So I had a long-term client. By the way, we've been in business going on 6 years. And I had one of my early clients call me one day, and she's a very successful realtor, and say, she gets a lot of clients from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, wanting to have a permanent or second home down here in the South. And this client wanted her to FaceTime the whole neighborhood, the inside of the house and everything, so that before this client decided to get on a plane and come down and look at it, they had a very good idea of what the home was all about, including the neighborhood. Unfortunately, the client had a iPhone and my realtor had a Android phone. So those two things don't communicate on a FaceTime type product. So, she had to ultimately pull off the road, create some type of Zoom link, and then they can do that. But she called me and said, can you solve that? I've got clients with all kinds of different devices. And like everything we do, I said, I can't solve it today, but if we can solve it properly, economically, efficiently, we're going to try to do that. So that was really our first attempt to dive into a product that I thought had a lot of viability, and found a developer who's just fantastic. He's now worked on several things for us. And ultimately now we have our own InPhone video chat, and it works on any type of device, whether someone's on an Android, the other party's on an iPhone, they can be on a desktop computer. It doesn't matter, tablet. So that was the first thing. And the first goal was quality, because I tried other products and the quality was very mixed. And so it had to be a great product, and it had to offer some things that, one, was user friendly, but two, that people would like screen share and the ability to flip your camera around, and most importantly, record, whether it be parts or all of the video chat. So we were able to do that, and it's one of our most popular additions to the InPhone.
I agree. And I'm going to give you a short story of my own. About a year ago, I saved myself an HVAC service call because my air conditioner wasn't working. And same situation. I have an iPhone. He had an Android. But I asked him, hey, would you do me a favor? Would you jump on this? We jumped on a video chat. He was able to troubleshoot the device, asked me, hey, check this, check this, check this. And it seemed it was an easy fix that, all of a sudden the unit was up and running again. And like I said, it served him coming out to my home, and it served me paying for a service call. So it definitely is a very efficient process.
The thing that I didn't really think about right away, but I got some comments back, was if you're on a FaceTime with someone, you're really not recording it. But in this case, if a realtor or any type of business wants to record it, or the client wants to record it and show their spouse or show someone else that whole conversation, then it really becomes useful, especially if you're touring a house, and the interaction between the client and the realtor. Same thing with an auto. If you're in a showroom and you want to speak to your spouse or significant other, when you get back, everything's right there, and they're seeing and hearing everything you're talking about. So it has tons of uses, but more importantly, our clients love it, and the quality is really good.
So, Ron, let me ask you this: with InPhone, and again, I love mine. I love sharing it with folks. I love telling folks to put it on your home screen. I tell folks, look, my beautiful face will be on your screen forever. I won't tell you some of the responses I've gotten to that, but you get the idea, right?
I do.
You get the idea. So tell me this. With technology like this and a mind like yours, there has to be something new. What's next? There anything going on that the world should know about? I mean, you can tell us all right here. I mean, it's just me, you, and Tony. I mean, anything brewing?
Well, I feel safe now.
And the millions of people that are watching the podcast.
I feel
Oh,
safe.
now you make me want to go all rock on them now. And the millions and millions watching in technology land.
I'm not sure how face I still feel in this environment with a Ravens fan and an Eagles fan, but I will still talk about it. I'm also an Ohio State fan. I am from Ohio, so yeah. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure I threw that in too. So, it's funny. I'm not the brightest guy, but I did figure out early on that if we continued from the start to just be a digital business card type product, we probably wouldn't last, because there's a lot of them out there. They come and go. All of the early competitors that I would see, most of them don't even exist anymore. Kind of a flash in the pan type thing. They're all trying to outprice each other down to zero, and they all kind of do the same thing. And I knew that we needed to be different. So your question kind of takes me back to our initial strategy and how we got from there to here, which was, if we're going to do that, and Tony brought it up perfectly, we're not just going to add things to make ourselves different. We're going to add viable products that solve problems that the majority of our clients, or a large chunk of our clients, would use to solve a problem. So we set out to, after the video chat success, we also have our own encrypted file sharing, which, doctors and teachers and attorneys and accountants love, because it's a one-touch, end-to-end encryption. You don't have to email a document that's sensitive and worry about hacking. So that was one of our early other options and features that we added. We have our own cloud call service, which is internet calling. And if anyone's ever tried to use the internet to make a phone call, you generally get bombarded with ads and all this other hoops you have to jump through. It's a one-touch option on an InPhone, and we provide that for free. We have now geolocation services that if you're at a trade show, somebody can walk right to your booth at the touch of a button. So we're doing things like that that really have, again, separated us from competitors, but more importantly, have separated our clients from their competitors, because they're offering features that none of their competitors have, and it just makes doing business a lot easier. So we set out to be different, and it's really helped us, even through the pandemic, when a lot of businesses didn't survive. It really worked out well for us, because there was a new way to do business starting on March 13th of 2020. And people realized that if they have an InPhone, they can do business a little easier in this whole new environment that was forced upon us. So it really did work out well for us. Our growth has been great. And luckily, we've been able to attract and have relationships, what I call part of the family, with people like Tony and James Levins and some others that you've either spoken to or heard of. So really blessed to not only have the product, but more importantly, the people in our family around it, part of the InPhone family. It's been a true blessing. So, but anyway, so the next thing is, how do we how do we make sure that our InPhone client is getting the most out of their InPhone? And it's no different than the paper business cards that you tore up, Tony. I'm sorry, Leon. Um, if you don't pass it out, it doesn't mean much. So, we have, probably a couple thousand clients that use the InPhone, but not as often as they could to really generate business, sharing it all the time, putting it on social media, asking friends and family to share it. So I wanted to look for a few, again, viable, meaningful services that we could offer our clients to get more exposure and, but more importantly, to a targeted client. So the thing that's coming out within about 7 days that we've been working on is a product for the golf industry. And, why did I choose golf? One, because I love golf and I played since I was 9, but more importantly, the demographic of the average golfer is off the chart when you compare it to a lot of our top clients, realtors and auto dealers and physicians or financial planners, people like that who the golfer, because of the demographic, gravitates towards those type industries because a high percentage of golfers are college educated. They make an average of closer to 100,000 a year. They're more likely to buy a vacation home. They're more likely to use a financial consultant. All of those type, and there's on the page there, you can see some of the key points out of 100 of them that really fit our client. And it's the type client that our customers should be in front of at the touch of a button. So we came up with a product that will be at a golf course that the players will be using for free while they play 4 or 5 hour rounds. And then each hole that they're using, there is one sponsor, an InPhone user or an InPhone client that sponsors that. And you can see there on the right side the Century 21 representative. So that golfer is using that for 10 to 15 minutes per hole and has quick, easy access to some offer being provided by the hole sponsor. At most golf courses, 30 to 40,000 rounds per year. And again, you're right in front of that ideal client that is really well suited for your business. So it's a natural fit for our clients. It's a natural fit for us. And we're looking for that to be a huge help to our clients, as well as a few other products that we will be coming out with to help support our clients to do more business.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So I'm gonna ask something and then turn it over to Tony. Production team, if you could bring that information back up, because I want to ask Ron just one question regarding that. So this is for golfers to use while they're on the golf course.
Correct.
And they're going to be at a hole using it. And you mentioned that they could be using it this will be on their screen, about 15 minutes per hole?
Probably
is that right?
10 minutes per hole. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're accessing it and getting valuable information. So what we did was, and I don't want to get into the weeds on golf, but there's a lot of golf apps out there. And just like InPhone, we wanted to be different.
Uh-huh.
Golfers will know this. If you're playing a course often or not very often or for the first time, the best thing that can happen is if you're golfing with somebody who knows the course.
Okay.
They can say, hey, down there's a sand trap 240 yards to the right. Don't hit that way. And here's this and here's that. And here's kind of the local knowledge that's so valuable when you're playing a golf course.
Yeah.
So that's what we're providing. The pro at each course is providing that information that's going to be on each one of these. And each hole, three different places on the hole, including the green.
Yeah.
And so now you're basically putting that pro in your ear as you're playing, and it's going to be a hugely valuable tool. And again, it forces the golfer to look at the screen, not often because we want to keep things moving, but and to listen and again have quick access to the sponsor of that hole, which will be one of our InPhone clients.
Mm-hmm. This is great.
Again, and a client that the golfer is likely to want to do business with because it fits their demographic.
Yeah, yeah. Right on. Now it's not going to improve my golf game though.
It will.
It
It
will?
will. Absolutely.
No, it's not going to improve my golf game.
Even Ravens fans every now and then get a good shot.
Oh, but Ron, let me tell you the golf story. I've only been on a golf course once.
Okay. I think I was behind you.
And I played Gary
I almost
Players.
quit that day.
You probably did. I played Gary Players Hilton Head National.
Oh, great
My
course to
first
start your
time.
first round of golf.
Never had a racket in. See, I don't even know. I called it a racket, man. What
That's
do
'cause
I
you're a
know?
racquetball
What do I
guy.
know? That's because I'm a racquetball guy,
Yeah,
right? So I take the club, I go back, and I go forward, and I hear. I'm like, oh wow! I just hit the ball. It went 300 feet straight.
300 feet.
It took 18 swings to hit the ball again. By the time we got to the 9th hole, I went and got a cart with certain beverages in it, and that's it. And I'm not telling you
Always
any more
a smart
about it. I'm going to turn it over to Tony. Go ahead.
Always a
Tony.
smart.
Well, I'd like to ask your professional opinion. When I go out golfing, I usually I'm around the 200, and that's with a moderate level of cheating. But do you think do you think that this product can take 3 to 5 strokes off my game from a perfect?
It's very possible. So I think for the average golfer, and again, I've been playing since I was 9 years old. Both my boys play golf since they could walk. My whole family plays, and I think for the average golfer, whether they play a course again semi-often or not, it will be a help, because there's going to be things that they hear from the pro who knows the course inside and out that they've never thought of before, different strategies. And not only will it speed up play, but it very likely to help someone's game. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you think about that, and the pros talking in your ear, but also for the in-phone client, their marketing piece, that ad is right there at the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
you've got people that are watching, that are seeing your business over and over again.
Right.
That's crazy good for a lot of
And
people.
they touch a button, it goes right to the client's in-phone. So
Yeah.
if I'm a restaurant, again, one out of I forget the percentage, but a high number of golfers eat out at least once per week. So if I'm playing a course and an ad or a in-phone client is a restaurant, and it says, click here to get a free appetizer if you come here after you play. Perfect. It's instant. It provides instant business to our client.
Mhm.
If I'm a boat dealer, same thing. A high percentage of golfers, again, have the disposable income because of the demographic they're in to purchase luxury items. So again, you're putting the perfect client target right at your fingertips of your business. So
Yeah.
that's the whole idea.
Mhm. Good stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too. Like the ad goes straight to their in-phone, so you could then see everything about their business, and that's what I always talk about on this show. That the in-phone tells your story. That's the thing we always say. The in-phone tells your story. So the ad just lets them see what you do. But when you click on that, then you get to see the website, the social media pages, everything that they need to know about you and want to do business with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we think it's going to be a huge help. Again, is it for everyone? No, but neither is InPhone. We never thought we were going to have 10 million users, but the clients that we have.
Wait. 10 million users?
No, I said we never thought we were going to have 10 million users.
Oh,
not that we do.
Okay.
So
Woo.
it's, I always
I
look at
got
this as
it,
kind
got
of a niche product, because there's a certain number of business professionals that understand that if they provide everything, the easiest path to do business with them to their client, they're going to gain clients and retain clients. So we aren't for everyone, just like a lot of products aren't. We understood that early on. So we try to cater to the, that niche of customer that is ours. And same thing with this product. Is it for everyone? No. But is it for a vast majority of our in-phone users? Absolutely, because we're matching them up with the target customer that they're probably trying to get anyway. Why not do it in this format where it's, again, efficient, affordable, and you're in front of 30 to 40. We just did a golf course last week that had 50,000 players last year.
Wow.
So, you talk about great possibility. If I'm a realtor and one golfer buys a house for me that wouldn't have known about me, I just paid for my InPhone for about 20 years.
Yeah, I was going to say a long time.
Yeah, sure. So that's kind of how we look at things. And let's focus in on those clients that understand our product, that use it very well, and let's help them even more than we did before.
Absolutely.
Hey, Ron, I know we're getting close on time here.
Okay.
I got asked a question to me when I was a guest on Leon's show. I asked it to James too, and I'm kind of interested in your response. What do you think an industry is right now that we really haven't gotten into yet, but is really perfect for InPhone, and that it should be a target market for our product?
Well, there's really two. One is academics and teaching, because we now have a product that a teacher can communicate with parents and students texting, where they're not giving up their personal number. That whole conversation immediately gets the transcript of it gets emailed to either the school principal or the school board, whoever wants to keep those conversations. So our product can really provide a lot of privacy while still providing easy communication features. And then trade shows, because now if I'm a vendor at a trade show or a food truck, for example, I can be anywhere. I can have a button that clicks. When somebody clicks on it, they can find me immediately and provide directions right to my location within 10 feet, and really kind of up my game on driving people to my truck or to my booth. So those two industries, I think, are probably our lowest hanging fruit in terms of opportunity at this point.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of the food truck angle with the geo tracking device, because they moved from place to place. That's
correct.
Glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
And James said the academic world too. He that was his answer. Mine way back when was doctors. I really thought.
And doctor, that's what I said. Two off the bat, but that kind of all falls into the same, where you want private communications and without revealing your personal number. So we can do that with phone calling. We can do it with texting. We can do it really all the way around, but yet still provide that instant communication that is, that next level, whether it be video or audio and so forth. So, that's kind of, again, the advancements we've made allow us now to look at other industries and really be a viable alternative for business professionals in those industries.
We've had success in using our InPhone to show potential clients all the shows that we do. Instead of sending a link here, a link here, a link here, a link here, it's the InPhone link, and we may give direction on go to the center row, third tab, or something like that. But it's all right there in one spot where they can check out shows. And it's really been great. And the other thing is, everyone likes to appear to be a certain level of cool. Now, I know for me and Tony, we have that certain level of cool, and so do you. Although you're a Steeler fan, you're still pretty cool, right? You're coming up with this technology, right? But when I tell folks, scan this barcode, they're like, wow. It gives a certain cachet even to what we're doing in technology. So I'm loving it. These are done.
I would be remiss and not bring up very quickly that one of our key features is the directories we have. And since this is called the A-Team show, it'd be terrible not to say that, for networking and building your own personal networking group, it's just a huge feature that I think more and more people should take advantage of, because it's, there's those groups out there that get together once a week and they pay a lot of money to get together and refer each other with business cards and so forth. you can do that same thing right on your InPhone and build your own referral group, and you're all helping each other. So that's your plug for your A-Team show there, Tony.
Thank you. I love it. No, that is, I mean, that I think is the future. You know, I had one question. I think it's been answered for the most part. So you don't really have to expand on it that much. But I always wondered, and when I got involved with InPhone, I wondered technology-wise. Like you said, technology, here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what are your thoughts on the staying power being, is it, and I know it's a little of both, but is it more focused on taking care of your current customers or making sure you're looking towards the future and adding what needs to be done? I mean, do you have any kind of thought on that? Like, I know you got into it a lot during the call, but that was something I wanted to ask you.
Well, it's a great question, and one that I think we do a really good job of, is that if we get so involved in making sure that we add features for our client without thinking that they're really asking for it for their client. Who is their client? And is it going to be someone in A, that can use it, B, that would, understand it? And is it really that useful? And if we kind of go through that process and say, to our clients, we love you, but think about where this is going. If I'm a realtor and I deal primarily in vacation and second home property, what's that age group? And is this a feature that they're really going to use and understand, or is it just going to be a little too cumbersome? So that helps us a little bit in staying with the basics. Now, if it's something that is out there and everyone's starting to use, absolutely, we would add it. But again, that kind of helps us to not get too crazy with adding things that are just kind of that, the kick of the week type thing. Something that's long-term, something that's viable. And again, that our client's client can easily understand and use to their satisfaction.
Yeah. I like it. Now, Ron, I got to tell you this before we leave. There's a big racquetball tournament this weekend in Severna Park, Maryland, that many of the kids that I coach will be playing in. Mm-hmm. I know that one of the things that happens at tournaments like that, parents come up to you, other players come up, hey, give me your phone number, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Right? That ain't happening. But here's what will happen. There's the new thing that people do is, here, take my phone, right, and put your number in here, right? I'm so looking forward to saying, scan. Now you got all my info, not only my information, right? But how you can get in touch with me, how we can communicate, how we can stay in touch with each other. Now, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to count the number of times I say, here, scan.
Perfect.
Here's scan. I'm going to count it. I just dropped my phone. Now I got to go buy a new phone. Maybe I won't be able to do this weekend.
What?
It just slipped.
So easy at that point, because I've done this. It's so, once they scan it and they're looking at it and they're impressed with it, it's so easy to take the one other step and have them save it on their phone. You know what? If they get to the point where they don't want it on their phone at a later date, let them do what they want with it. But at that moment in time when it's on their phone, hey, click this button. Look, now I'm here. Anything you need, give me a call.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Great information. Ron, thanks so much for
thank you both
being open to allowing yourself to create InPhone and having the idea. And thanks for being here on the show. And can I just tell you about Tony for a second? He represents the company just in a wonderful way.
Sure does.
He's just a really, really great guy and uses the product in communication with clients.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
I see it
one
in
of
the
the
numbers.
cool things.
We do provide data to people to let them know, here's how many times your InPhone was opened in a given time period. So that's available as well. And I see Tony's information. It's in the thousands. So absolutely.
Yeah. He's rocking.
There's nobody in our InPhone family is aggressive. They're nothing but honest, with high integrity, and just good people. And that's the only people that we want to do business with.
Yeah. Now, the only thing though, Tony usually comes on the show in a t-shirt and
I did
like
notice that.
You noticed today he
I
put
noticed
on a
He
button
may have gotten
down.
a fresh haircut.
Oh.
He got his hair cut and everything
Yeah.
because the boss is coming on the
Yeah.
show. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just noticed it. That's all. I'll just say I noticed it.
Yeah. I think one show he had pajamas on. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
That's the first thing he said when he got on today. He goes, "Well, what's with the shirt? What are you dressed up for?"
I'm using my phone because, as you know, my desktop computer in my office in my home here, that Wi-Fi was terrible. There's a lot of work being done. We got flooded by the hurricane a few weeks ago, and there's a lot of work being done. And I'm on the water, so my Wi-Fi is generally not great to begin with. So I'm standing here on my cell phone doing this. So I'm sure my image is pretty interesting.
Looks good. Our production team made sure it was all.
Yeah, they did it.
Tight.
They did a good job. If they can make me look a little taller, that'd be great. There we go.
He looks like he's in front of a fake screen. Like the beautiful.
It does.
Home,
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah.
Turn around and knock. Let's prove that that's really you back there. Turn around and knock. Yeah.
There we go.
Ron, it's great meeting you. Thanks for spending time with us here.
Thank you both. Appreciate you both.
A-Team show. Tony, wow, how about that? The big boss today. You gotta love it, man. Huh?
Yeah, it was great. I knew it would be. I mean, we say that InPhone is to tell your story, and to be honest with you, sometimes maybe we need to tell the InPhone story. There's a lot to it. There's a lot that Ron's done over the years that I'm not even aware of because I've only been a few years. But it's a great product, and it's evolved into the product that it is. And I mean, I'm so excited about it because I just have a gut feeling of where it's going, seeing where it's come from.
Yeah. Folks, if you want more information on InPhone, you can contact Tony. You do that by going to his InPhone. That's infone.co/TM2. If you'd like to learn more about the Leon Thomas Group, go to my InPhone. That's infone.co/LTG. Tony, I see we're back again in the new year, right? I don't think we're going to be back before Christmas. Is that what we discussed, right?
It looks like this is the last one for the year, but when we start in January, we're going to be doing them again every week or two, and we're going to have a long list of happy clients that are going to be on here, wanting to talk about InPhone, and I think we're going to have a lot of people with this golf. Within the golf industry that are going to be involved very soon too. So 2023 is going to be something.
Right. Looking forward to it. Yeah. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, Tony, to you and your family. And I know we'll be communicating before then because that's just what we do. So I'm not going to say until January, see ya, because I'm sure we'll be chatting later in the week.
We will talk, but to anybody else that's out there, have a great holiday and finish off 22 strong and commit to making 23 an awesome year.
Right.
And I think me and Leon are going to do the same.
That's right. That's right. And check out InPhone. I'm telling you, folks, you gotta do it. Hey, thanks for watching the InPhone A-Team show. I'm Leon Thomas. That's Tony Mecadon. We'll see you next year for the next InPhone A-Team show. Thanks for watching.